Hi guys, I'm talking to you from my little kitchen in France today, and a question I get asked a lot from my patients is how can I get enough protein into my lunch without making it really complicated. So I will just be talking you through a really simple 5 max 7 minute lunch meal that I go to all the time. It's one of my go-to meals and it's really filling and simple. So I generally try and get at least roughly 150 grams of either salmon or chicken or beef or any other type of protein. And then I usually go for about 100 grams of sheep cheese. I'm not good with cow cheese. And that just gives me a really nice, good protein source for the meal. And then I'll go for some leafy greens. I'll chop up a little bit of broccoli, steam that for a couple minutes. I have some baby tomatoes, and then I just throw that all into a salad. Another question I get a lot is whether you should be eating your fish raw or cooked and what the different pros and cons are. Now, if the fish is fresh, I generally recommend going for the raw version because the reason why we like to eat fish is because of its omega-3 fats. They are good for our heart, for our brain, for our hormones, to quench inflammation, lots of other wonderful benefits. However, those omega-3s are polyunsaturated fats, meaning that they are slightly unstable. So if you cook them at a really high heat and fry them up, then they might be destroyed, or at least a portion of it. And then they actually become not so good for us. So ideally, have it raw when it's fresh, or just slightly cook and steam it. Put it in the oven at a lower temperature for a little longer so that it doesn't get oxidized as much, and we still get all the wonderful omega-3 benefits. So here's a common lunchtime option that I like to go for. It's a poke bowl style, some steamed broccoli, some leafy greens, a little bit of different colors. I have about 150 grams of salmon in there. And then what I'm adding, because that's usually not quite enough protein, so what I'm adding, but people can go for different options, is I generally like to add another 90 to 100 grams of some sheep cheese because I'm not very good with cow dairy. But you can also add some tofu, edamame beans, some other types of beans. You could go and add some other cottage cheese if you're good with cow dairy. Whatever it is to bulk up your protein. Get lots of wonderful, colorful vegetables to feed your gut microbiome. I always try and get some cruciferous vegetables because they help my liver detox hormones, in particular estrogen. And I tend to have high estrogen, so that's really important for cancer prevention. How I'm seasoning my lunches. Now then, I just put some olive oil on top, some really nice organic extra virgin olive oil. I usually just put a little bit of lemon over the top, but you can also use some vinegar without sugar added to it. Put a little bit of salt on top, natural sea salt, wonderful here. And then I quite like some herbs, so these are herbs de Provence, you can do whatever. Usually I have some fresh basil, some fresh cilantro. I don't have that here right now. Just put that on top there to give it a bit more flavor. Et voila, ready meal, super healthy. You got all the nutrients you need, no nasties, and then bon appetit.